fucking stressed out. I'm fucking stressed. We should not be working like this. I work my ass off and I can't even fucking pay bills, bro. And they always say don't compare yourself to others, but I see people going to what the fuck, Coachella, and fucking like buying all types of shit, just pointless fuck you money, and I'm over here can't even fucking pay my fucking rent, bro. This gas, $5 a gallon. And like, why do I have to pay rent? And why is rent so high? And why do I have to drive my car and get the gas that I have to get to go to the job that I have to pay for rent? Why do I have to do all of that stuff? And why are you making it so fucking expensive to do it? This is beginning.
Bro, I'm not gonna fucking make it in this fucking world because, like, tell me why I just went to fucking Kroger's and got groceries. I just got paid today. My last fucking paycheck. And I spent $73 fucking on popcorn, crackers, Cheez-Its, milk, ranch dressing, tomatoes. Just basic shit, man. Like, a box of fucking Cheez-Its and a box of fucking crackers was $5 a fucking piece. The ranch dressing was fucking $5. The tomatoes were $4. Like, the milk is $7 a gallon and my kid drinks 3 gallons a week. That's $20 fucking dollars. Like, how the fuck did I barely get any goddamn food and it's $73 fucking dollars? Like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Went to the grocery store for 3 things: eggs, milk, and bread. And my bill was almost $30. It's insane. It's insane. My mortgage is almost $3,000. My car payment is $680. My HELOC is $600. It cost me $80 to fill up my gas tank and $300 in groceries. And then we have medical bills that we have to catch up on. My electric bill is almost $400. My gas bill is almost $200. My internet is about $50, and we're supposed to survive how? My husband makes really good money, but we're living paycheck to paycheck. We are literally paying just to survive because we had triplets and have never been able to catch up. Trying to work from home, barely making any money at all, but I'm busting my butt to do that. I get free products sent to my house every single day, but I'm not making money from that. It's a free product. So it looks like I'm making a lot of money, but I'm not. I work for Amazon, Sam's Club, Walmart. I work on Venable, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, TikTok, and I'm barely making any money. I can barely keep my head above water. I feel like I'm drowning all the time. Why is America like this? It doesn't make any sense. Our family has 6, and we're barely surviving. And if I went back to work, I start to think of all the things that need to get done around the house. The laundry, the cleaning, the landscaping, the cooking, the home repairs that are piling up that I'm trying to catch up on because it's spring and I'm now seeing it even more. And all the other things that have to get done. I don't know how I can go back to work and do all that and take care of my kids and be present for them when they're still young. And I'm not saying all of this or any of this to make anyone feel bad for me. I'm actually just really asking, how are we all surviving?
If anybody should tell me in my widest time of my life that a time will come that white people will be panicking, crying, lamenting, mourning like this, I'm not going to believe. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing on anybody's suffering, but this is a typical example of listening to Black Americans. This is a typical example of understand the indigenous people of America. Right now, a lot of them are surprised that every single thing they are literally passing through, Black Americans are not passing through such hardship reality. Anyways, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks. Also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. With that being said, let's roll out the clips. I'll be back with commentaries.
This is wild, and I want to make sure you don't miss it. We all know that Donald Trump said, on day one, I'm going to get prices down for Americans, right? Look at what's happening now. This is a brand new poll from The Guardian. It just came out today. Half of Americans struggle to afford groceries and gas. Half of Americans. Guardian calls this a grim portrait of cost of living crisis and says that about 57% of polled Americans also believe the economy is worsening, because it is. The poll also says that 95% of Americans now believe the U.S. is suffering an affordability crisis. 95%! And this is not just Democrats, y'all. Pessimism about the economy has increased for all Americans of all parties. Look at that, just whoop, for everyone. In February, 22% of Republicans said the economy was getting worse. Now that's up to 38% of them, of Republicans. Then they asked people whether they thought jobs in their area were disappearing. Look at rural Americans. 41% of them say good job opportunities in their local area are disappearing. By the way, when it comes to rural Americans, 64% of them now say the economy is getting worse, compared with 46% who said that in February. And again, look at these specific numbers. The percentage who responded they are having trouble affording gas, 52%, groceries, 51%, loan payments, 46%, utilities, 46%. Oh, and don't forget, half of those polled said they're struggling to afford their debt, including student loan debt. This is the economy after a year and a half of Donald Trump and the Republicans in full control. But don't worry, because Donald Trump is on the job, if you consider the job building a new helipad on the White House lawn.
Beautiful helipad. And it's got the seal of the White House on it in granite, in carved granite. It's a beautiful thing.
A beautiful thing, he says. But as for this, oh well, he doesn't have an opinion about it at all, because as far as he's concerned, it's not true, it's not real, and your struggles are fake news. And if you're not mad about that, you should be extremely.
You cannot live here.
And why so?
Seattle is not affordable. We are homeless. I used to work as a meat cutter. I made good money, but I still couldn't afford a place to live. You don't get housing. You have Catholic Community Services. They do nothing. You have SHARE. They do nothing. You have all these housing people, and they do nothing. They leave you out there. Right now I sleep in a tent. I'm 62 years old, and I'm too old for this.
How much does somebody need to be making a month to live well here?
I would probably say you probably need to be making about $200,000 a year to live well in Seattle with a family.
And how much does somebody need to make on a monthly basis just to get by and be able to pay for their rent, car insurance, everything like that?
I think you'd have to make at least $100,000 to live an actual full life and live on your own and be able to pay all your bills.
What do you do for work?
I'm head of HR.
I don't understand how I make $34 an hour.
This video is absolutely gut-wrenching. Go watch her whole video, and she is being so raw in her emotions on her frustrations about the fact that she makes $34 an hour, which isn't a bad wage, and simply can't make ends meet. She talks about the fact that she has to buy a loaf of bread and eat toast with peanut butter and make one loaf of bread last her a whole week. I feel like so many Canadians are struggling beyond words right now, and it's just absolutely gut-wrenching. So she talks about the fact that she owns a home and her mortgage is coming up for renewal, and she's terrified, right? Because interest rates have skyrocketed, and she has no idea how she's going to be able to afford the increase in her mortgage payments. So there are a few things that you could do in this situation. Now, I don't know her situation specifically, but if you own a home and you have some equity in your home, there are potential solutions. You can look at doing a refinance, which means using the equity in your home. When you do a refinance, you can take the equity out of your home to pay off other debts. Now, there are a lot of debts out there, say vehicle loans that are at higher interest rates, lines of credit, credit card debt that is at higher interest rates than what our mortgages would be. So overall, you do pay less in interest. And at the same time, you can improve your cash flow. She could also look at extending out her amortization. So, for example, if you had 12 years left on your mortgage, you can look at extending it to 25 or 30 years, which will counteract that increase in interest rates and make your monthly payment more manageable. Now, I know that a lot of people are going to say, I don't want my mortgage to be another 25 or 30 years. And I fully understand that. But when it comes to only being able to eat peanut butter for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with toast, how is that for your health? You know, you do have to consider so many things outside of what might make the best sense. So by extending your amortization out, you can still pay additional money down. So if you were to get to a place where your monthly debt obligations are now manageable, you're probably going to be able to sleep better at night. If you can eat healthy, nutritious food, I mean, that's just going to help your mood and help you get on with every day. So when you do get on top or back on top of things, you can look to pay additional money down on your mortgage every month to get your amortization back down to a point that you're satisfied with. But it will get you through those tough times if need be. The bottom line is there are always options. Instead of feeling so defeated and overwhelmed, you can reach out, contact people, find out what options you have. Sometimes in life, it takes a step back in order to be able to take some steps forward. And that's life. It's not all roses and unicorns, unfortunately. But knowledge is power. And just knowing what your options are, talking to people, you never know what might help you. So if you do own a home and you're feeling the way that this woman is feeling, reach out to a mortgage broker. It doesn't cost you a thing. And they can let you know if there are any options for you. I mean, at least you're trying to do something about it.
I got a letter recently that my property taxes are going to go up $600 a year from now on. I got a letter that my homeowner's insurance is going up $60 a month. My propane company sent me a letter that my propane is going to double this year. They just came and filled up my tank. It was $1,000. That's crazy. Also, as a entrepreneur and business owner, I get my health insurance through the marketplace. So you have the Affordable Care Act. I pay $45 a month. They just informed me that if this bill passes and I lose my tax credit, I'm going to go from $45 a month to $660 a month for health insurance. I need to buy a new car and I can't, because the cars have gotten more expensive and the interest rates have gotten so much more expensive. I can't find a reliable car that has the same monthly payment of $450 a month that I've been paying now for a new car. Not necessarily new, but new to me. Groceries are insane, and it feels like every day I get a new email from another subscription that I have, whether it's Netflix, my website subscription. Everything's increasing in price. And I sit pretty much every day stressed about money, and yet I know that there are so many people in this country that are way worse off than me, and they're not making it, y'all. They're not making it. What hurts me the most is that there are so many women, especially, that just cannot afford to leave abusive homes, and they have to stay in it because of this economy. So are we great again, America? Like, is this what you voted for? Meanwhile, they all sit there in DC, not feeling any of these pressures, not doing anything about it, not giving a shit about the American people. I have been extremely poor, and I have been extremely wealthy. And I know from firsthand experience that the wealthy people don't notice it. And most people are pretty self-absorbed and aren't thinking about other people anyway. So we got to talk about this more. We got to raise hell. We have to let DC know that this is not acceptable. Regardless of your party, we have got to help each other.
Living in America right now feels like a punishment. You wake up already behind, you go to work just to stay broke, and you watch the cost of everything rise while your paycheck doesn't move an inch. Groceries are a luxury. Rent is robbery. Healthcare is a joke. And somehow we're the ones blamed for not budgeting better. People are working 2-3 jobs and still choosing between food or gas. Families are crammed into apartments because buying a house became a fantasy. You can't afford to get sick. You can't afford to rest. You can't afford to exist. But they keep telling us the economy's strong. Strong for who? Because it sure as hell isn't the people doing the work. We're out here treading water while billionaires build rockets, politicians trade stocks, and corporations raise prices just because they can. We were promised opportunity. We got survival. And what makes this worse is watching people blame themselves. Like somehow you failed because you can't afford a 1-bedroom anymore. Like you didn't do enough, when the truth is the math just stopped adding up years ago. They told us to work harder, but never told us they'd change the finish line. This isn't a country full of lazy people. It's a country full of exhausted ones. Simple as that.
People are charging $1,000 a month to rent rooms in their home. $1,000 a month to rent a room. Bro, what the fuck we gonna do? The cost of living has gotten out of hand, and y'all buy a house, man. Everybody that I know that owns a house tells me don't buy no fucking house. They hate that shit. Between property taxes going the fuck up, insurance going the fuck up, niggas having to fix roofs. Is that what it is? Having to fix their roof and shit. Everybody I know that got a goddamn house tell me don't buy no goddamn house. They say at least you call a maintenance man. But dead ass, what the fuck we gonna do about the rising cost of living? Because what you mean you charging people $1,000? You got 3 rooms in your house, you're charging them $1,000 for somebody to come live there. This shit is sad. Like, my son gonna be an adult in the next couple of years. He's gonna graduate from high school and be an adult. And this is the world he has to live in? The fuck? I guess I need... shit is weird.
Hi, I am a resident of California. I'm 61 years old, and I just wanted to share my shock because I just got in from the mailbox and opened up my Anthem bill summary for my healthcare premium. Evidently, my subsidies have expired for the month of December, and so my bill jumped from $314.40 to $864.60 for December. And then I also got my estimated bill for what it will be for 2026, $1,296 a month. I can't pay that. I'm not eligible for Medicare yet because I'm still 61. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. I think I may have to cancel my insurance and just go without and take the risk until I can be eligible for Medicare. I'm eligible for Medicare mid-year next year, but I can't afford almost $1,300 for my healthcare premium. Plus, that's just major medical. That's a very high deductible. It's no copay. It's so ridiculous. I don't understand how the average American's supposed to make it. It's just, I'm on a limited income. I cannot afford this. So just curious if anyone else is having the same issues that I'm having. Let me know.
I need to have a vent session for a second about the state of affairs in this country. So I have two adult children. One is 18 going on 19 and the other one is 21. My 18-year-old is working currently as an HVAC apprentice and working on getting certified, but he's making $16 an hour, which I live in a small to mid-sized Missouri town, so that's pretty typical around here. Wages are, low compared to a lot of places, but so is the cost of living. But he would also not like to be living at home with mom forever. He's more of like an independent, autonomous person, so apartment living is not for him at all. He wants a place where he can have his truck and his dirt bikes and be able to work on motors and have the freedom to do what he wants with the place and also be able to have all of his stuff. And at this point, honestly, renting a house would cost more than a mortgage payment anyway, but he's been looking for houses and just trying to figure out what he can afford and what he can do. And he found this place that was only $125,000, which is dirt cheap around here. That just doesn't exist anymore, but it had no basement. It was on a slab foundation, I think, and probably needed some work, which he is naturally talented at that stuff. He works in HVAC. He's very mechanically inclined. He can do this stuff. So he's not afraid of a fixer-upper. Found out that the main reason it was priced so cheap is because it was in a flood zone. So it was a no anyway. But keep in mind, $125,000 house in this economy. And when we looked up to see if he did a 5% down payment on this thing with, your insurance and PMI and taxes and everything, his payment would still be $1,100 a month for a cheap piece of crap house. And just the look of absolute dread on his face when he realized how completely unaffordable and unattainable it is for him to be able to buy a house and live on his own. Now, my oldest son just turned 21. He's been waiting to turn 21 because he wants to get into the cannabis industry. And it's just like the alcohol industry, where if you want to be a brewer or a bartender, you have to be 21 in order to do it. So this past week, Thursday, he interviewed for a job with a grower. And just a couple of days ago, he was offered the position and officially accepted it. And in that time, less than a week, we decided to start a war with Iran. And so when he interviewed for the job, gas prices were around $2.50 a gallon where I'm at, and now they are already at $3 a gallon and climbing. So just in the time between when he interviewed for this job and when he accepted this job, gas prices have gone up 50 cents a gallon, and they're not done climbing yet. And this is an issue because this job, there's a lot of dispensaries here in town where if he had, ended up there, he'd probably be a little bit better off. But this was the job opening that was available at the time for him to get into the industry. And it is a farm, which is 30 miles up the interstate from where we live. So now he is going to be driving one way to work 30 miles at a time when gas prices are going through the roof, because we decided it was a good idea to start a completely unwarranted, unjustified, and unnecessary war with Iran. And I'm now sitting here thinking about my own situation, where my own currently hourly wage is, and considering if I was their age, if I was just starting out. So thinking about buying the same house that I live in right now at its current value, at current interest rates, with the same % down payment that I paid for this house back in 2017. And I realized that my payment would be double what it currently is. And I, as a 40-year-old woman who has been working for 24 years of my life, could not afford this place on my own. At 40 years old, I would need a roommate in order to live in this very modest, 1,300 square foot, 1968 ranch style home. It's not a fancy house by any stretch. It's what most people would consider to be essentially a starter home by today's standards. And I could not afford it on my own on my current wages. So my question is, how the hell are we expecting these young kids to do it? For someone to start out, even in my area, in rural Missouri, they would have to make $30 an hour in order to be earning a living wage, in order to live on their own and support themselves without the help of a spouse or a roommate, just for a single person to live and make it on their own, to be able to afford a vehicle payment, vehicle insurance, a mortgage or rent payment, and all of the utilities and groceries and cell phone bills and stuff that go along with just living your life. That's no fun stuff. It's just to live. They would need to make $30 an hour. Meanwhile, we have a government that is more interested in starting wars and harassing other countries and harassing immigrants that are living in this country than they are with their own people, than they are with helping the working class in any way, shape, or form with any kind of meaningful legislation or reform. We have a do-nothing Congress that is sitting on their hands and doing absolutely nothing to help any of the working class people. I'm mad about it for myself, but I'm even more mad about it for my children. Something needs to change. Something's got to give. And frankly, at the midterms, it would be great if the Democrats are able to take over, because at least they'll do something to stop the nonsense that is happening in the executive branch that is going on unchecked. But are they going to do anything to actually help the working class people? At the end of the day, even the Democrats are doing the absolute bare minimum to be able to claim that they are for the working class, because they, right along with the Republicans, are taking money from wealthy campaign donors, and any policy, any legislation that they pass ultimately is going to help them and not us. So where does this end? How far does this go before we, the people, cannot afford to live no matter what age we are?
America has become completely unaffordable, and I don't know why more people are not talking about this. Half of America doesn't even have a savings, rent is insane, healthcare is a luxury, and somehow the narrative is still people are just bad with money. What money? People are working full-time. Most people have 2 to 3 jobs anymore because you have to. At what point do we stop blaming the people and just accept the fact that the cost of living has simply just outpaced reality? Because everything is this expensive, you have to know exactly where all of your money is going anymore. A budget is just simply a necessity. You have to have one. Started using a budgeting app like mine to figure out where all of my money is going, but it does not make up for the fact that America is too expensive to live in anymore. If you're struggling, you are not alone.
Hey, what's up, America? The cost of living here in the United States is still way too high. And massive amounts of people are still financially struggling, even though the stock market is the highest it's ever been. So even though Elon Musk is a trillionaire and the top 1% have gained hundreds of percent in the last couple of years, the general population here in the United States, the majority of the people, approximately 70%, are struggling financially every single day. Most cannot pay all their bills. The amount of cars being seized for non-payment is going up steadily. Houses are being seized also due to inability to pay the mortgage. Same with property tax. You're getting a lot of houses being taken because of non-payment of property tax now as well. Food prices remain high. Gas prices are starting to come down, thank God, but diesel prices need to come down a lot in order to get the products we have to lower the prices just across the board there. Home prices are still about an average of $410,000, give or take, which is out of reach for most Americans. And wages are still stagnant, only going up a couple of percent in the last several years, even though inflation has more than doubled what you've been paid as far as a wage increase, for the most part. The cost of rent throughout the United States is once again the highest it's ever been, and insurance costs are simply not worth it in a total ripoff. Some people with $10,000 or more deductibles that are crippling them, and the same with auto and home insurance. It's ridiculous. And we could go on and on about high meat prices, high food prices, drink prices, everything prices. But the value of the dollar needs to go up and prices need to come the fuck down. That's all there is to it. Price gouging and horrible economic prowess. Now we need to get our shit together one way or another and stop the price gouging. It's every fucking business, every industry, and everything, even outside of breathing, has been monetized. It's too fucking much for everybody. The expectation you put on your citizenry is simply too fucking much. Stop it. You greedy fucking whores.
Anyways, welcome back, guys, and hope you guys literally enjoyed every single clip I was able to roll out for you guys. And this is just the harsh reality of cost of living right now in America. And the surprising and the, like I said, the very, very surprising thing is the fact that a lot of white people are the one panicking, they are the one lamenting, they are the one crying. Do you get? The same people that are on welfare, enjoying EBT, enjoying food stamp, enjoying every single thing, are now crying. Now they cannot even work a whole day and use that money to get something reasonable. And as at this point, a lot of them are surprised that black people are not complaining the way they are complaining. Black people are not mourning, black people are not shedding tears. So they are surprised. A lot of time they tend to ask themselves question, who is feeling this? Who is? They just want black people to just say, oh, we are also feeling this too. I keep saying it. See, learn to understand the people that built America. Before you exist as a white person in America, there is already a black person existing there, doing well, inventing, standing up. So right now they are coming to cry, the cost of living is high. But there was a time they were singing with Latinos. They were saying, if not for a white man, a black man does not fit that particular seat. And you know the craziest part of it is that the orange man did not give an F about every single thing that is happening. He only cares about himself, his family, and how he can literally continue his war with Iran. He only cares about being famous on TikTok. He only cares about how to insult journalists and make them look like they don't know their job. He only cares about bringing ICE agents to whoop the axe of illegal immigrants. I'm not in support of illegal immigrants. Never. So when you people were singing praises and everything, a lot of you guys thought that life is going to be way better than for you people than black people. So you went ahead to bite the finger that fits you. And right now, everybody is feeling the heat. So you are not left out. And surprisingly, you're even feeling the heat more than the people you thought will be feeling the heat. That is what we call karma. That is what we call fafu. Black people have suffered enough, understand the system enough, and even when they were telling you people that that is actually not the right way, why not we go on this direction? A lot of you never care to listen. You never care to listen. You were busy chasing color. You were busy chasing your skin type, your skin folks. Now, here is the reality. Hitting every single person, and you are not left aside. You are now crying, lamenting, mourning, and whatsoever. One thing I know for sure about black people in America is they always go like 10 times ahead. And that can only be done with someone that understands the system. Yeah. So next time when black people tell you people sit, you people are going to sit. When black people tell people, imagine you people opening your mouth crying that you have not seen such worst regime. Anyways, may God provide. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Credit to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you, liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks. Also join my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And yes, guys, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys.